Chapter 17. The sun streaks of light came through Tara's castle window. Tara blinked her eyes open. She smiled to herself and could feel today was going to be another fun and awesome day. This time, Lacey, Ella, and Bella were not waiting on her bed, thankfully. She stood up and looked out the window. The rain had stopped sometime during the night. Now the sky was a pure blue with not a cloud in sight. "Looks like a great day to do plenty of fun activities," she stated excitedly, speaking her thoughts out loud. Tara entered her enormous library. On the small wooden table sat the book she had started the other day. Tara decided to read a chapter or more before she ran out of time today. She took a seat outside on the sand and waited as the animals gathered around. Once the creatures settled down, Tara opened the book to where she had stopped. Marigold took a moment to relax and sat down to try to think of what the cause could possibly be, Tara began and went on. Back in Glowing Springs at school, Kate walked up to Miss Sarah at recess. "The fire is gone, so come to my house this afternoon instead of headquarters," Kate explained. "That's great to hear that you can get back to your own home. It's never easy sleeping in a bed that isn't the one you are used to," said Miss Sarah, smiling as she reflected upon the time she had to sleep in a hotel bed, or more recently Mrs. Melody's spare. She was delighted to hear she could also return to her little cottage, although she had enjoyed being at her friend's place. "It is, but the horse stable burned down. No need to worry, though. Marietta is having the workers rebuild it for us." "Well, that is really nice of them." "Yes, it is. If you don't mind, I have to check on a friend that lives in the mountains before I look for Tara." "Fine with me. After all, that fire was absolutely horrible," Miss Sarah stated, understanding. At the sea of paper, Tara still sat reading the book. Now Marigold noticed that more of the kingdom was noticing that their magic was gone and they couldn't fly. She could see them all panicking and knew it was her job to keep them calm. Marigold walked out onto the balcony and spoke loudly so all could hear her. "Fairies, do not panic. I am trying to figure out what we could do that could have cost the loss of powers. If you have any suggestions, I will gladly hear them. Come to my place and line up if you have a suggestion." "That should do for today," declared Tara, closing the book. Some of the animals left, and soon not many surrounded Tara. Speaking to herself, Tara thought out loud, "I wonder how May Day went. I wonder what I'm missing at school right now as I speak. How is Kate, Mom, Dad, and the horses? Will I ever get home? How long will I be here? How do I get home? Is there a way, or am I stuck here the rest of my life? Has my world changed in a week and a half, or did time freeze and today back home is only April 24th? "Tara, I have an idea," spoke Lacey, cutting off her thinking, and for once, with no energy. "What's your idea?" questioned Tara. "Well, I heard you wondering out loud, and know how much you want to go home. You, me, and all the animals that want to can think of possible ways for you to go home. What a wonderful idea. We can try it." "Attention all creatures that live here at the Sea of Paper," shouted Lacey. Many animals stopped what they were doing and looked up to Lacey's gaze. "If you would like to help Tara think of possible ways home, come over here and gather around Tara." Nicole and Snowflake swam closer to the shore. Ella, Bella, Goldenbright, and Carrie flew over and landed in front of Tara. Lacey waited until a few more creatures gathered around before taking her position as hostess. Lacey started off the conversation. "Tara, you already tried what to get home?" "I searched the island for any possible way back home, like a portal, but there were none. Then I tried a raft, but when the Sea of Paper was paper, the raft wouldn't move. Then when the paper became water, Nicole told me it leads to nowhere," Tara explained. "I see. Maybe you are dreaming this all." "No, I would know if I was dreaming. Besides, I think you know that you are really alive and not just created by my sleeping mind." "True, you do make a good point." "Tara, don't listen to that silly monkey who has no sense of anything," chirped Carrie, speaking for the first time. "I do have sense. It is you who have no sense," Lacey retorted. "Is that a challenge? Because I surely would win." "Fine, it is on. We will hold a competition to see who is the smartest. The event begins at noon. Tara will come up with the events and be the judge," declared Carrie. Whoa, you are not bringing me into this. You both are very smart and have more sense than me, otherwise I would not have wound up here." "Tara, you misunderstand. We are not mad at each other. We just want to have a friendly competition," explained Lacey. Carrie nodded, agreeing with Lacey. A friendly competition would be fun to do. "All right, fine. I will come up with the events. Do you care what they are, or how many?" "Totally your choice," Lacey and Carrie replied at the same time, and Tara grinned as ideas came to her. Tara went inside the castle, and off of her desk she grabbed a clipboard, pen, and paper. Then she drew a chart on the page. The first column was the event. The second was titled Winner, where she'd write who won the event. Then she came up with the events, and on a second piece of paper she made the rules for each one so that she would not forget them. Tara wasn't making the events easy, so that way they both would tie and agree they both are smart. Tara was coming up with events that neither or both would be able to win, or so she planned. The sun was high above the island. Carrie was 10 feet from Lacey. They both were stretching and preparing to win. Tara came out of the castle holding the clipboard. Animals of all kind gather around to watch the smartest creature challenge. In this competition, Lacey the monkey will compete against Carrie the cardinal to see who is smarter. Our first event is mathematical madness. I will say either a simple question or a term. Each must solve the equation or define the term I give. If one does not get the answer correct, the other will have the opportunity to steal the point. Whoever says the answer or correct definition first receives a point. The first to get to 10 points wins the first event. Are the contestants ready? Stated Tara. I was born ready, declared Lacey with an I'm going to beat you look in her eyes. Oh yeah, I was ready before I hatched, Carrie retorted, but in a friendly way. Okay, it appears they are ready, so let the competition begin. Here is the first question. What is 4 times 4? There was a pause of silence. The answer is 8, informed Carrie at last, a little unsure, almost like a question. I am sorry, that is incorrect. I said times, meaning multiply, not plus or add. Lacey, you can steal this point if you get it right. Okay, the real answer is 61. No, wait, I mean 16, answered Lacey. That's correct. You get 1 point. Tara put a tally mark on the side that read Lacey. Okay, now define variable. Variable? I never heard of that word, admitted Lacey, hoping Carrie didn't know either. Really? You never heard of a variable? The definition is the element in the science experiment that is tested. In an experiment, there are 2 variables, independent and dependent. Independent is the variable that is constant, unchanging, regardless how the experiment is carried out, which falls into the control group. The dependent variable will change based on the results of the independent variable. For example, a bird food company wants to know if they add a new seed, will the birds like it better? The company has 2 groups, A and B. Group A gets a normal bird seed, and Group B gets the food with the new seed. The independent variable is both of the bird seeds. The dependent variable would be how much the birds eat. Very good, Carrie, but I was referring to the math, not the science term, explained Tara. Oh, I didn't know math had variables in it, Carrie admitted, feeling embarrassed. That's all right, Lacey didn't either, so neither get a point that round. The correct definition is in an equation the variable is the letter that represents a number. For example, 2 plus x equals 3. In that case, the variable x would be 1. Oh, I would have never gotten that, admitted Carrie, feeling very stupid. Me neither, said Lacey in the same tone. Tara continued asking them math questions. Both of them were doing better with the equations than the definitions. They both were tied with 9 points, 1 more point until the winner of the first event would be declared. Here is the winning question. I am 13 years old. My mom is 37 years old. Neither she nor I had our birthdays yet this year. How old was my mom when I was born? 24 years old, Lacey and Carrie declared in unison. Yes, you are both right. Here is another question. My sister Kate is 6 years old, and she already had her birthday this year on February 5th. I am 8 years older than Kate. How old was my mom when Kate was born? She would have been 30 years old, answered Carrie. Nope, you subtracted the age difference between Kate and I. Lacey, what do you think the answer is? 32. No, 31, because your mom didn't have her birthday yet, but Kate did, responded Lacey. Right, Lacey, you now have 10 points, which means you win the event 1. You may have gotten lucky on that one, Lacey, but I will win the rest of the events, declared Carrie, full of confidence. We'll see about that, replied Lacey. Our next event is Science Mania. In this event, you will have to perform an experiment correctly. They are already set up over there. You have a paper that gives you the guidelines of how to do it, and there are a few questions to answer before and after the experiment. Ready, set, begin! Tahra and all the other animals were sitting on the sand politely and quietly, waiting for one of the two competitors to finish. All of a sudden, a big explosion came from Carrie's experiment. Tahra sprang up and ran over to Carrie. "Carrie, are you okay?" Tahra sought worried. Through a cloud of green smoke, Carrie was coughing and managed to say, "Yes, I am fine." Bella, Ella, and Golden Ray flew over. They flapped their wings to blow away the smoke. When the smoke cleared, Tahra asked, "What happened? There was no material here that could possibly explode." "You may have thought that, but it all depended on how the experiment was carried out. Your way of doing it seemed boring, so I did it my way. I thought it would be harmless and exciting, and it was exciting, but dangerous. I finished my experiment, though." "I'll take a look at it and see how you did." Tahra closely examined Carrie's experiment. "Well, Carrie, the questions are answered correctly, and the experiment is done correctly, although you did it a different way. Carrie, you are the winner of event number 2. "How many events are there?" asked Carrie curiously. 5. Just 3 left. "The next event is flag collection. In this event, the 2 of you must go around the island collecting as many red flags as you can. Except you cannot fly, nor swing from branches or vines. Ella will follow Carrie to make sure she does not fly. Bella will follow Lacey to make sure she doesn't use the branches. After every flag you find, you must bring it back to me. This will last for 30 minutes. Then a horn will sound, and you will hop on your eagle's back and return here. Whoever gets the most flags win. This event tests your searching skills. Good luck, and you may begin." Tahra sat on the sand, receiving a flag every once in a while. In her left hand are the flags that Lacey had collected, and her right hand held Carrie's collection. At last, for what felt like a century, the 30 minutes had passed. Tahra sounded the horn. In an instant, the eagles returned with their competitor on their back. Tahra counted the flags while Lacey and Carrie sat anxiously in front of her. "Lacey, you have collected 13 flags, and Carrie collected a total of 13 flags." "What? Now, we tied," cried Carrie. "There is a yellow flag that Ella just hid out there. The first one to bring it back to me wins. The same rules apply, but you can take it out of each other's hand." "Really?" asked Lacey excitedly. Tahra nodded. "Awesome," replied Carrie. "Ready? Begin." Only 5 minutes have passed since Lacey and Carrie took off looking for the flag. Now the 2 of them came running out from the path. Lacey had the yellow flag in her paw. "Carrie, since you are smaller than Lacey, you can use your wings," spoke Tahra quickly. The little bird flew up and snatched the flag out of Lacey's paw. Lacey jumped up and grabbed the flag, but the competitive bird kept her beak tightly shut. Pulling harder, the stubborn monkey pulled the flag out of Carrie's beak. Furious, she pecked Lacey's arm and that held the flag. Lacey yelped in pain and let go of the flag. The cardinal grabbed the flag and flew to Tahra as fast as her wings could carry her. She stopped right in front of the young girl. Tahra reached out to grab it, but Carrie turned away. She flew back to the monkey and dropped the flag. Lacey looked at her friend shocked. Carrie bowed her head in respect. Lacey tapped her right shoulder, and the bird landed on her shoulder. Lacey walked over and handed Tahra the flag. Tahra looked at the cardinal and gave her a warm smile. "The winner of the flag collection is Carrie," announced Tahra. "Me? But Lacey gave you the flag," she chirped, confused. "I know, but you had the chance to win, but felt bad for hurting Lacey, so you gave it to her so she could win. Your act of kindness is what made you deserve to win. After all, this is the Smartest Creature Challenge. You showed you were the smartest in this event by knowing you've done wrong and apologized." "Thank you very much, Tahra. As long as Lacey isn't upset she didn't win." "Not at all. I agree with Tahra. It was nice of you to give me the flag." "Are we ready for event 4? sought Carrie excitedly. "If you really want to, but there is no need. I made the events really hard, only so the 2 of you would learn a lesson. The lesson you learned is more valuable than any other I had set in the other events." "What lesson did they learn?" asked Freddie the green tree frog. "They learned, we'll tell him. We learned when you make a mistake, apologize, and always be as kind as you possibly can be." Lacey and Carrie replied in harmony. "Tahra, you were right. We can end the competition here," spoke Carrie. Lacey nodded in agreement. "Then it is settled. The competition is over. This medal here I give the winner, Carrie. Although both of you are very smart, Carrie earned this medal because she showed how smart she was for making her wrong right. The animals cheered in congratulations, but Lacey cheered the loudest of all and had the biggest smile on her face. "Where's your tree, Carrie, so I can hang up your medal?" inquired Tahra. "Follow me," Carrie instructed. "All right, in a minute. Lacey, you get this ribbon as your reward." Another round of cheering erupted from the audience. Tahra continued on, "Lacey, you may hang that up on your tree. Your ribbon and medal will be symbols for all the creatures here to remember. It is always best to accept each other, and if you do something wrong, apologize. Carrie, please show me to your tree," Tahra spoke as she stood up and grabbed the medal. Tahra returned back a moment later from hanging up Carrie's medal. "Now what?" questioned Carrie. "Well, we could," Tahra began before getting cut off. "Play chase! Try to catch me, Tahra!" called Snowball, a white rabbit. "Okay," responded Tahra, taking off after her. While all this was happening, back in Glowing Springs, the school bell rang, and the students rushed out the door, excited to be going home. "Bye, Miss Sarah. See you in an hour. Don't forget, at my house, not the police headquarters," Kate called as she threw her backpack over her arms. "All right, see you then," Miss Sarah called as Kate walked out of the room full of energy to be returning to her home and start another day of searching. A few minutes after all the students disappeared from the hallways, Miss Sarah was gathering her things and prepared to leave when Mrs. Melody waltzed in. "Greetings," she chimed, and her skirt flew out around her as she spun into the room. Miss Sarah chuckled. "How many cups of coffee did you drink today that you were bouncing off of the walls?" "Only one for breakfast, I promise. It's my hormones making me wound up. Plus, it's warm and sunny outside. Are you ready to go?" "Melody, the fires aren't gone. I told you that." "Well, yeah, but you still need a way home. I know you live close by, but I'll drive you to save you time. Besides, we need to stop at my house first and get your overnight back. Then I'll return you to your house, unless you would want to go out to dinner tonight and go to a park and eat it, since it is so nice out." "Thank you, but I have to help Kate and her family search for Tahra. It's been a while. With each passing day, their hopes fade, and they've become more concerned. I care too dearly about her to not help. We can enjoy an evening together once Tahra is found." "But Tara's fine." "How can you say that?" "I mean, it's just a hunch, but I'm sure everything is perfectly fine." "You don't know for sure, though. She could be severely injured, waiting for help to find her. We cannot give up on her or stop for even 1 second. Melody nodded, but didn't say anything as she waited for her best friend to put away her last few papers. Meanwhile, back at the sea of paper, Tahra was getting worn out, but Snowball still had a ton of energy. "Come on, Slowpoke," Snowball taunted. "I'm trying. You are just so quick," Tahra responded through gas. "Okay, I will slow down for you," Snowball said with a wink. She started again at a very slow hop. Tahra was only a few feet away from her when she picked up speed. Then Snowball slowed down again. Tahra was almost about to catch her when she took off at the speed of light. Tahra, too, regained her speed, and Snowball noticed. They were running on the sand near Tahra's castle, but Snowball and Tahra were running at their fastest speed. Snowball was paying attention as to where she was going, but Tahra was not as much, as her attention was focused on Snowball's every move. They were running towards the sea of paper when Snowball took a sharp turn away from it. Tahra couldn't stop and ran right into the sea of paper. Still unable to stop, she ran right into Nicole. "I am so sorry, Nicole," stated Tahra, trying not to laugh. "It's okay. It was amusing watching you chase Snowball." "I just remembered something," responded Nicole. "What?" several creatures and Tahra asked. "We never finished the conversation of ways to get you home." "Oh, yeah. I totally forgot. Let's get to it so I can hopefully come up with a way home." They all began having too much fun with the competition, and watching Tahra try to chase Snowball, it had slipped their minds that they were trying to help Tahra get home.